Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our meeting of Movie Club. And today we are going to discuss a movie, Hunger Games. Pretty fresh, I think. 2012, right? It's year of production. And Jennifer, what, whose name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. We saw her in this Passengers movie. Yep. And I like it Passengers more. Just, just a niptic. Yeah. So. I have a problem actually with understanding even from the beginning, from the title. So how you interpret this Hunger Games? Is it the games of hungers, or I don't know, games when hunger is involved? What? How would you describe this?
Gerard, do you want to try or you want me to?
Hmm. I let you to do. It's complicated.
Okay. What happened? You've got this large country, call it Russia, like Russia. It's big and it's got provinces, okay? Kind of like states in America. It's got big provinces and it's ruled by a central government. And this central government was cruel and mean and evil. So a long time ago, the people rebelled against the central government. And the central government put down the rebellion. And to punish the provinces, they quit delivering food to the provinces. And the provinces all had many, many deaths due to starvation because the government wouldn't send them food deliveries. So now, every year, the government reminds the provinces to obey by holding hunger games to let them remember the price of disobedience. If you disobey, we quit delivering food to you and you all starve to death. So the Hunger Games are kind of a cruel reminder of what can happen if you don't obey the government.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes and no at the same time.
It's understandable, but it doesn't make sense.
Gerard, please.
In this world, there are 13 districts, so like 13 in the states.
Mm-hmm.
And the main one is the capital, is the center of the country. In this state, in this district, people live very well. And the others need to provide different things so these people in the capital can live have a very nice life, and the other districts have to live in a poor way.
Yeah.
No, 50, I think 13.
13. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm speaking mostly about about language, about just just an interpretation of the Hunger Games. So it's a game of hungers, where hungers is a person, or it's a game of hunger like a notion, or what is this?
Hunger.
Hunger has nothing to do with the game.
yeah, it's strange.
No, the game is to remind people that if they disobey the government and try to rebel, the government will stop giving them food and they will starve to death. That's the hunger. So this game is called the Hunger Games to remind people of what the government can do to them, how it can punish them if they don't obey.
Okay, I see. And Vasant, your link now is working, so I can see slides perfectly. So it's something happened. I don't know how you did this magic. Yep.
I share the Padlet link. You can share the questions.
Yep. Okay, another question, about language. Speaking about districts, so what does really district mean? Is it just a zone, area, or something else? How you use it in in the US, for instance?
A district's just an area.
That's nothing more. Yep.
No size restriction. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember there was another movie about district, about some alien, District 9 or something like this.
District 9, again, just an area. That's just an area where they put the aliens.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we know about these districts? So how they divided, how they restricted, what are the borders, Gerard? Do you understand?
Each of them produce different values. For instance, the ones our protagonists produce coal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is surprised me? What surprised me? I think that one of the districts should produce the food, right? So food is coming from something, not from the space. I think. So yeah.
From
So
the government. Yeah, the government district has the food.
for everyone, it looks strange, no?
Oh, it's like Russia. You said the USSR used to supply food to all the poor countries, right?
Yes, no, not like this, but yes, we have like provinces that produce more food and provinces that's mostly industrial. Yeah. So if you live on the north, you just what you can produce here, just I don't know, trees and nothing more.
So the USSR was something similar.
Yeah, but I think there are not too much, not too many. I don't know what, not too many, tomatoes in Mexico, for instance, or something like this. So it's always like separated. Okay, let's return back to our story. So the story begins with Jörgen. Help us describe the story, the movie.
Okay, you can see this girl hunting in the wood, and let me see, with a bow and arrow, yes, and I think a reindeer, and a guy comes and interrupt her. So, and it's about hunting technique, and you can see a big airship cruising above them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it started from we are having picture of some some district, yep, and this district specialization, as we learned after, is something about coal. Yes, they are miners. Yeah, and overall picture is not too pleasant, I would say, right? It's like a medieval village. Can I say so, teacher?
Medieval.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Medieval village, yeah. So but we can see that the girl, in a good form. She's hunting. She is like a pretty one. She has a family, and she has what's the word for them? What's the word for boys who is who's eager for her?
Suitors.
Suitors, yeah. She has suitors. As we are going to learn, there are more than one. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then one lady from I don't know. I did not understand. Is the lady from like a central district, or it's like a governor or something of this district?
The blonde woman. I think she's like the MC of the games. I think she manages the games.
Yeah, but I think there is a lady for each district, like this.
Oh yeah, there might be a sponsor, maybe a sponsor.
Yeah, or ambassador. No, can we say so? No, probably
not inside the same country. I'd call her a sponsor, district sponsor.
Okay. So she's like a facilitator between the central government and this district. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Then the word sponsor, it's pretty new for me in this context. Usually when we talk about sponsor, I think about money. Someone who gives you money.
A sponsor is like someone who recommends you, or someone who endorses you, or says you're a good candidate. I sponsor this person means I provide money to support them to participate.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, Vasans, would you like to continue our story?
Yes, where we stopped.
We stopped at this, let's say the day of reaping. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. At the day of keeping, the head of that society tried to make a lucky draw. So she picked one piece of paper from a bowl, and in that bowl, their names were written who are eligible to fight for their district. So, and the girl, how to say that? What's her name? Jennifer. Okay.
What was her name?
Yeah.
Katie or Catherine?
Katniss.
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 Katniss. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his sister was selected for that team, but she was so afraid, and her sister, Katniss, know that she wouldn't survive because she is too weak and she is afraid, and so she decided to volunteer by shouting at the head of society, and head of the society was pleased to have a volunteer because nobody has volunteered before. So she accepted her bill and let her inner sister go. After that, they also selected another guy to accompany her in that game. So, they usually select one person from both gender. So this is how the process is.
Okay, well, it's interesting thing. Yeah, let's stay a bit on this story. So it's kind of a lottery, can we say so? So everyone is what he's like making some what sources? No, what was how we call it when you
Sample.
samples? Yeah, you put some samples of your blood to the
Wow.
pieces of paper. Yep. For what? For what? Do you understand why? Why they need these blood samples?
That's your name in the lottery. Your DNA.
Okay, your DNA. Okay, so we learn that it's kind of mandatory. Yeah, so it's not it's a lottery. It will it will produce two names, boy and girl. Yep, but at the same time, everyone it seems like could just say I'm a volunteer. Take me. Yep.
I think I don't know if they call it a challenge or what, but you can challenge and say I'll be her champion and I'll go in her place or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. But it's seems strange, yep, because a district can prepare, a perfect warrior, yeah, and put him every year, yeah.
Yeah. And they don't do it.
It will be a nice strategy, So you will take a battle with with some random girls selected by lottery, and you are prepared. It's your only job,
Right. You win every year. If you win, I forgot what you get. Just the winner gets fame. Is that it? The district doesn't get anything? I can't remember.
We learn from the story that there are a lot of winners actually. So, for instance, there was a woman baker, just a winner of this, of this Hunger Games. So probably it gives you just nothing. You just survived. It's your candy. Go home.
No, you have the winners have a nice house and food and everything. The drunk guy that helps them. So he has a nice house. He have to drink, food, everything.
Okay, so the district doesn't win anything. Only the one person wins.
Yeah, only the one person.
That's why they don't have a champion.
Okay, so this lottery took place, and the little girl, sister of our protagonist, who was elected, has been elected. Yep, and the girl just covered her, right? So say, I will go. Yep. And then started some training. Yep, something like this. Gerard, could you continue, please?
Yes, our protagonist went to the capital, taking a fast train. They were assessed with this guy, Hutch. How do you call him? Hutch or something?
Let's
Forget
let's,
his name.
let's call him.
Haymitch. Yes. The actor was Woody Harrelson. He was an all winner, and he's alcoholic. And at the beginning, he is not. He thinks that they don't have any chance, but then he realizes that Katniss has a chance to win, and advise both of them to win. We also know that Peter is in love of Katniss. Also, there is a guy who makes their clothes to impress the public, and he does his job very well. And then, well, we start the games. They have in the underground. There are tubes, a sort of elevator that bring them to the arena. That's something like virtual. I don't know. Looks like yes.
But let's say a bit about training process. So what we learn? We learn that the world is actually not a medieval village, right? There are high-speed trains. There are a lot of computer simulators and
cameras.
yeah, and a lot of things. And so the society is pretty well developed, I would say. Yep. And people looks like they are boring. They are bored. Yep, I would say. Masans, please.
Yes, but what if it's like Basil, who built the entire city just for one week?
Yeah. But we know examples from the Roman Empire, for instance. They had gladiators, and actually, I think that the movie was inspired by this, Roman Empire and this gladiator battles. Is a gladiator close enough?
Gladiator fights, yeah.
Gladiator fights, yes. And they built this amphitheaters. How we call them? Yep.
Amphitheaters, yep.
Yeah. So this is a fancy new place with a computer simulation and all those things. It's just a modern amphitheater. Yep. Yeah. So it's on par with an epoch. So they trained these guys a bit, and it seems to me that all of these guys, they are pretty young. It's strange. Yep. If it's just a random lottery, why it's probably there are some limits.
It may be like the military draft. In our military draft, we used to only take people that were 18 years old.
Yep.
Young and invincible.
But some of them are really young. Yep. And I think that at the moment of the training, we already see that one guy was prepared better than others. So it's look like he's a gladiator, by soul or something. He wanted that. Probably he volunteered. Yep. And he's how we call a guy who's going to win? A favorite?
Favorite's okay. Yep.
Okay. Jorgen, please.
Yeah. I saw the girl looked at the other competitors and admire them. You can get the feeling of being not so good as them. It's not.
Yep. Yes, I understand you.
Psychology.
Yeah. So you go into this, shared training, or how to say it, when everyone is trained in one place in one time, and you can see that you just nothing compared to them. Yep, they are well trained. They are, kill the elephant with heat and all these things. Yep, and you think, wow, what kind of, how many chances I have? Yeah, you are pretty scared. Yeah. So, but what I don't understand exactly in this process, it's do you remember this moment, this scene when she puts the arrow into this jury or like sponsors room? What it was about?
To impress those people.
Yeah, but why? What to decide those people? What they are sponsors for exactly?
They with their money they can send some help while they are playing the games. You remember once she was born, and the sponsor sent some lotion to heal her. So that's why.
So it's kind of like crowdfunding. You have, if you do real well in the games, or it's like advertising. You know, you want people to endorse you, to advertise on your website. So you get people that are willing to help you win. But you have to give them something. So if you give them good entertainment and you do something really brave or really fantastic, then one of your rich sponsors might spend a lot of money and give you a new backpack. So it drops down from the sky and you go, whoa, what a nice backpack. Yeah, one of your sponsors just gave you that. So your sponsors can help you periodically during the games by buying something expensive for you to help you out. So your performance gains you rewards from your sponsors, but it's voluntary on their part.
Yeah. So your impression is that this medication and other like goods was sent by sponsors, right? Because my impression was that it was sent by like administrations of games. Because what's the goal of this administration? They have to make like a perfect picture, you know, a show. So if everyone kill everyone just in 1 second and without, you know, drama, show is too bad. Yep.
Yeah, the government gave them an initial place with some weapons. So that wasn't sponsors. That was the government letting them get started. The sponsors can give you stuff later that may help you. So it's both. The government and the sponsors give you things. The problem is the government stuff is in the middle. You've got to fight everyone for it, which to me is kind of stupid because a lot of people die right there and the game is almost over. You know, that's stupid to me.
Yep. So why not give them, you know, the equipment and put them in different places? Yep.
Yeah.
So they lose like I don't know 50% of the show just in one moment without getting nothing. Yep.
So it's like her trainer, her mentor said, "Don't run for the guns. Run out into the forest because it's going to be a bloodbath."
Okay, bloodbath, another good vocabulary, I think. Yep. Okay, so the battle begins. Yep, we have what is position? So we have a lot of participants, the equipment in the center, and the timer. Yep, counting 10, 9, 8. Okay, what's next? Masans, what do you like?
Yes, and everybody tries to have a weapon, but a few people, I think, Sydney and her companion run into the forest, I think, and there was mayhem. How to say that? Violence in that place. They killed each other, and very few people managed to escape with weapons. And inside the forest, they formed a group. They made alibis. How to say that? With each other, and they helped each other to kill some person, and they might have decided to fight, have a final fight once they kill the main enemies.
So, as Teacher Lee shared in our chat, a shark feeding frenzy. So, or bloodbath, yep, another thing. A stupid scene actually, but I think actually when you wrote about Grappa gun, I think there were no guns at all. So they used like axes and knives and bows, but no like how we call this something.
It's been a long time since I saw the movie, but I thought there were guns. No, okay.
No.
Just cold steels. So I don't know how it's in English. In Russia, we say cold weapon and hot weapon. So hot it can shoot, and cold it's just knives. You know.
Okay,
fire weapons.
We would just call them melee weapons, probably.
Melee's
hit with your hands. You know, swords, knives, clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So looks like by rules they use only melee weapons. Yeah.
Okay.
So you cannot just get a shotgun and finish it in 1 second. No, you need to be bloodthirsty. You need to a lot of.
Okay.
You have to gut someone.
Okay.
Yeah. So and at this moment we learned that people already had different strategies, right? Some of them decided, not for me, please. I'm going to the forest. I will wait. I will wait for occasion. Probably it's more chances to wait for occasions and get a knife after that. And we learned at the very beginning that it's not that bad strategy. Yep. And what we learned in a very few moments, we learned that many people died, some flown. How fled. Some of them fled, and we can see that there are already some alliances. Yep. So one guy, favorite candidate to win, he formed an alliance. Yep. Just stay with me now. Later we will decide. What they are going to decide later, I don't understand. What people had hope for. Yep. When they go to alliance.
Well, only one person can win, right?
Yep.
So if you form an alliance, you can work together to kill the other competitors.
Yep.
But now you become your own competitors.
Yep.
So the alliance lets you what we call narrow the field, narrow the number of competitors, so that you can concentrate on a smaller number of competitors.
But I think it's a very bad strategy because it's
stupid.
Yeah, it's just without. I don't know how many chances you have when you don't form this teams. But when you form teams, I think your chances just dropped because you can be hit into your back. Yep, at every moment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust my colleagues, when I am sleeping. Even I am aligned with them because it would be easy to kill one wake up and kill the other of them. And those ones are the most dangerous. So it would be wise to do that.
Yeah. It's very strange. So I would understand this kind of strategy if you and me and someone else are weak. Obviously non-winners, so we can form a team and kill a favorite and then probably had an equal chances among us. Yep. But
think of it this way. It's politics. Let's say there's 5 really strong people. If you're individual, you've got to fight 4 strong people. But if you're smart, you form an alliance of the 5 strong people, kill everyone else, and now you form an alliance of 4 strong people, and you kill and then 3 strong, and you use sneaky schemes to kill the strong guys one at a time with a group until finally it's you and one guy that you think you can beat.
Yes, I can understand this, and I can understand another case when which I try to describe, when you are all like a low-rated warriors, and you are trying to improve your chances by killing, more high-rated, and then have equal chances. I can understand this strategy, but I don't understand the strategy when when you go to the team where is a leader, because you already lost at this very moment.
Right. The leader's going to turn on you sooner or later, maybe with the help of the rest of the team. Yeah.
Maybe when you don't expect it, maybe next second. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's a very strange thing, and we learned this administration of the games, this leaders, these facilitators, they not going to have a game for a month. they force you. They make fires. Yep, some fireballs or something. They put what's the name for these creatures? Was it dogs? I don't know. Probably dogs. Some scare. I was thinking it's a tiger for the beginning, but it's more
genetic monsters, I think.
Yeah. So they trying to make a show from this. Yep. Okay, so let's speak about the first twist. The twist when the rule has been changed. Gerard, please, can you explain us?
Yes, the rule that allows the couple of the same district to survive.
Yeah. Why they did this?
I think Jaime is perfect change. So because it was this nice couple of Katniss and Peeta, and they thought that would be more interesting because the goal of those games is entertaining. So they thought that would be nice. So the people, the public would be thrilled to see that this couple can survive and in a romantic thing, you know.
So, but teacherly, it was like opposite, direction. So it was only one at the beginning, but then they said, okay, one amendment will be done. Yep. So the couple can win now, and the reason why they do that not really clear. One motivation is what Gerard mentioned, because it's more entertaining, and another motivation, it's there was some unrest in District 11, provoked by the necessity, to kill each other. Yep. Jörgen, you have a comment?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Give them a route.
Giving the people what they're asking for to keep them happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So and at this moment, so our protagonists, they decided, wow, now we are team by law. We don't have to kill each other. So it's I would call it like a natural alliance, right? It's a better strategy to to make a peace immediately.
Yeah.
Motivation. Yeah, and they started to battle together. I don't think we can we find something interesting about this? Something impressed you in these battles?
Yes, when she let the a kind of bee in them. When she was on the branch of the tree.
Yeah, so let's speak about tactic. Yeah, we discussed the strategy already. So what about tactics? So once during this battle, she was on the trees, and the gang waited her. So how she managed to escape? She found a bee like nest. Can we say nest?
We call it a beehive.
Okay, so she found a beehive and put it on the gang. Wasp. Okay, it was a wasp hive, and this wasps, they were like poison. Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Genetically modified.
Yeah, because they started to hallucinate or something. They started. Yeah. Yeah, it was one tactic. Another tactic, what was? I like it, the venomous. Yep, thank you, Vasans. And I like it another tactic of bait. Can we say so? Bait or something when you put all these packages from government in one place and you mine this place. Mine or what? What's the word for that? When you put mines in the ground, and make
mine it is okay. Yep, mine the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was mined. There was an ambush, and they just waited for for pretenders who will like to get it. Yep. But our girl was too smart to go there. She just like provoke the blast by her by apples. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, so we call that tactic bait and trap.
Okay, bait and
trap. Like it's like fishing, right? It's like fishing.
Okay, what else? Another tactics. Once they used like a bait, a small girl, right? They put her into a net and waited for, I don't know, for what for survivors, for saviors. I don't know.
Doesn't have much chance that, because who would risk his life to save another?
Maybe an easy kill, Oh, look, someone's helpless. Bam, you're dead.
Yeah, but I don't think that those kills are important. If you don't kill anyone but you are a winner, who cares? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are some illogical tactics, I would say. For instance, this black guy, he did not kill our protagonist because of what? Because of nothing,
No, because he was with Rue, the girl.
Yes, but what's the reason not to kill the protagonist?
Empathy. He felt some empathy for her.
Do you believe in empathy when you are going to die?
No, because there are other people more dangerous than Katniss. But maybe he thought first we kill the bad guys and then maybe we kill each other if one of us survive.
Strange.
Maybe he was like a knight. He had some honor. He didn't
Hmm.
want to kill a girl, if he didn't need to until it was absolutely necessary. Now, I can't remember the movie much, but at one point she saved an Asian girl, right?
Yes. Small
Now,
girl,
So, Gerard, did you say the black guy and the Asian girl were friends?
No, the girl he saved
No.
was a black girl.
Okay, so he saved a black girl. So maybe that's why the black guy figured he owed her
Yeah, because they were from the same district.
some mercy. Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Okay, so if you ever will be a participant of such a game, my advice to you: don't be sentiment, don't have sentiments. Just do your thing. Yeah, just do. And another thing, never never provide speeches. When you're going to kill, it's always a mistake. Yep. And we learned this from the movie. Yeah, don't talk, because you say, "I'm going to kill you. You will." Why are you doing this? Yep.
We call that goading.
Yeah. So okay, it's battle is continuing, and they force it to be in one place because it's only one safe place, because everywhere is genetic modified dogs, and they are angry, and so there are only 3 of them, 3 candidates, our couple and this a warrior, from district, a prepared guy. Yep.
Mhm.
So what is happening now, Sans? Can you tell us about
Yep.
this time?
Which one?
Almost the last one. They are on this, I don't know what is it, spaceship. Yep, and there are dogs all everywhere, and there are 3 of them.
Yes, they fight with each other, and finally, at last, she tried to aim at the enemy who strangles her companion. But if she shot him, both will fall down, and they'll be a prey of those jaguars. So she hesitated, and Smart that he hit on his hand, and he loosened his creature. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So, Sans, I'm sorry, we're losing your sound. It's intermittent. Okay, let me try to describe the story. So there is a small fight, yep, and it's ended up in a minute that this warrior has a hostage, right? And trying to cover himself by this hostage. So she's here, she's with his bow, with her arrow. She's ready, but cannot cannot shoot because of the hostage. And what is happening? It's happening strange dialogue, strange monologue, I would say. This guy, this warrior, is going to say strange things. He's saying, "Wow, I just understand. I no go. I would never win. I always knew that. I just realized that it will always will like that. Why? I don't understand. So why she's doomed? He's doomed. I don't understand. So, but she made a trick. Yep. Instead of shoot in his head, he tried to shoot in his arm and just provoke, to let hostage run. Yep. And they managed to survive. And now we have a second twist. So they are both couples. They are winners. Yep. And immediately at this moment, we can hear the host. Can I say the host? The one who is in charge. He's saying, the recent amendment has been revoked just now. We are going to have only one winner. What is happening after this, Jared?
Yeah. Okay. Katniss managed to have a strategy, a plot. He has some blueberries poisonous, and he threatens to kill both of them. So that would spoil the whole games.
Do you think it will spoil it so much that they how to say it? How we call when you just is like break your
Thwart.
rules? Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of thwart the purpose of the games.
A winner is necessary. A winner is necessary. At least a winner.
Right.
So, but I think that the next game is ruined already because at the very beginning of the next game, all the participants can say we can go to kill ourselves by this berry. You know, another strategy. And what they will do with them?
I think another reason is they don't want a martyr. They don't want a hero to motivate the people in their district to rebel again. So they don't want to let her and this guy be two martyrs. So it has to do with politics again.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So and at the end, the king is the king, the one with this
President Snow.
President Snow. Okay. The President Snow killed the host because of that. Yeah, by this blueberry or something, and they returned to home. So I think it's the story. Yep. So what can we learn from the story? Do we have questions? What else? Where you put your questions?
On our Padlet.
A Padlet. Okay, thank you. I will see on Padlet. Okay, Padlet. That looks like okay. I see. The link is in our chat. Okay, which is the sense that you can relate with our real life and how? Jar, do you have something like this on your job on daily basis?
Fortunately, no. I don't need to fight to eat.
Yeah, but metaphorically speaking, we have a lot of fights in our lives, right? But you just don't have to kill, but we have some competitors, we have some on the job, and sometimes we don't help people. Yep. Sometimes we struggle with them. Yes. Yeah, you and your colleague are competing for a race. Yep, for raises and praise.
Yeah. You want promotion, right? Promotions.
There are some studies that teach us that it's almost always that cooperation is almost always better than competition. So if you help each other, the overall result, and it means the result for you will be better than in case if you have a battle with your colleagues. But not everyone follows that. I have seen I have seen different examples, especially in my IT industry, where the knowledge is very important. Some knowledge it's not published very well. So if someone take some unique part of knowledge, some people try to hide it just to be an unique specialist or something.
There was a famous football coach in America, maybe Guy Lombard. I can't remember his name, but he was a football coach. His purpose was to win, right? To win the championship for football teams. So he had a saying that became famous. He said, "Nice guys finish last." So his goal or his mission statement was be cutthroat, be cruel, be ruthless, and you'll win. If you're a nice guy, you're going to finish last.
Well, maybe in sport it's like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But even in sport we have many examples. I can just remember about some jogging or something like this when sportsmen who actually are competitors, they help each other. Yeah, we have a lot of examples. Yep. And sometimes people who help it and lost they medals, they are getting famous. Yep. And I think they deserve it.
The Olympics, is a good example. In the last Olympics, a runner hurt their leg or something, fell down and got hurt. Another runner stopped, went back and helped her cross the finish line. So
Yeah.
that made people, yay!
But it's almost unbelievable, right? Because you have maybe one, maybe two chances to win Olympics in your sport career, yep, in your life,
Yeah.
and you sacrifice it just for nothing, just for being nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah. Big sacrifice, yeah, large one.
Yeah.
So, Vasant, what about you? What do you have this sense on your job?
Not in my job, but we can relate it to the current society. Like we have games to entertain ourselves and forget all the politics. And especially when the little girl died, there was a mayhem. There was a mayhem in their district. They uh, caved violently. They how to say that, they distracted all the public properties. So it happens many times in sports when their favorite football team loses in the finals, then they create a mess, chaos uh, in their country back at home. So it happens.
Yes.
So I can relate that. Yeah.
Yes, now I understand your point really better. Yep, and it does happen. Yep. Jorgen, please.
Two questions. I wrote in the chat. Morning line odds, and that's Nightlock, Peter. Katniss said to him, "What is Nightlock?"
Nightlock. Sorry.
Yes, it's blueberry. I think she mentioned about the blueberry plant fruit. If they eat it.
Aha. Okay. Aha. A warning.
Oh, the name of the poison berries?
Yes, they have many nicknames for the poisonous things, like the bees and the berries. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Morning line odds. So as I got it, it just was a phrase, that means that at morning line you have more or less equal odds, to win this game before it started to developing. So as game develops, your odds changes, from low values to high values. But at the morning light, you are all equal. We don't know nothing about the future. Yep.
Okay.
Does it make some sense? I think.
And I think when the small girl died, remember, she held up three fingers and kind of expressed sportsmanship and respect for the girl, and that made the district feel kind of proud. And I don't think President Snow liked that.
Yeah, but yes, I can see now a parallel between these games and for instance, soccer in Europe or in Spain or in Russia. So sometimes we have a bunch of fans that do some unrest without reasons, and so yeah. So people would say in general tend to have some entertainment, how we call it, some public things, yeah, and they react stupid, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. We partially covered it. Let me copy it. So, who did send those medicines to her? Well, we think, we mentioned it. We think it's or sponsors or like government or just hosts. But I don't think that the reason why they send this medicine is a humanitarian purpose. I think it's just to make show better, to make show better. Gerard?
No.
Could be, yeah, could be.
No, Haymitch convinced some people to give money to send this medicine. Because the letter, there is a small letter, and the end there is an H. H for Haymitch, So Haymitch convinced people to give money to buy this medicine for Katniss.
Okay, so we can have a moral from this, yep. So not the every drug is useless, yep. Okay. Yes. So I don't know. Can we discuss it without Layla or not? But let's speak about romantic part of the story. And the question is, do you think that she betrayed her boyfriend back at home just by falling in love with the companion in that game? Let's split this question into a few. First of all, do you think that she felt in love? Because I can remind you that at the end, in the train, she said, "We are going to forget everything." Yep, we try to forget, and probably it could be that for her it was just a strategy of surviving, to making a good picture or something. What do you think about this?
They weren't, they were only friends, I think. Katniss and the other guy.
You
Only
mean that guy in her district? Yep.
Gale.
Okay. Yeah, but as the guy inside the game, do you think that she felt in love, or it was?
Yes, show? Peter. Yes, Peter. I think he was in love with Katniss. Yes,
he
was a platonic love.
Yeah, but what about her? What about her?
Maybe some feelings arise later, but not from the beginning, of course.
So you will refuse if I say that it was a strategy for surviving, to make a picture, to impression.
No, I think Peter was sincere when he expressed his feelings for her.
Okay. Vasans, what do you think? Just a moment, actually.
Yes, because when she kissed him and when she carried him, the guy back at home, he had a very dull face. He was disappointed. So when what I thought was, if he feels for her, then he should have volunteered at first when the other guy was selected in the morning assembly.
Yep. Good point. Chichili, do you still have a comment?
I was just gonna say it's a love triangle. He loves her, she loves the other guy. Nobody's happy.
But I think, guys, you trust women too much. So to me, let's recall the very beginning. All these chariots, with the fire. So it was the guy who said, "Let's pretend that you are a couple. People will love that. Your audience will love that. It will be a nice show. So touchy, Sasha. We will make your costumes. We'll make a fire and so on." So I think that she could be like adapting this strategy. She understands that chances are, higher if we take all the sympathy from the crowds, from the everyone, and it worked at the end. And at the end, they are going in the train to their districts, and this guy Pete, he told her, "Wow, how we'll live now?" And she's cold. She's just saying, "Okay, you just can, forget everything." So never trust this feeling, Jorgen, what do you think? Who is right, me or our romantic guys?
You, I don't know.
Okay, I did manage to convince Jorgen at least.
I don't think she was politically adept, politically devious at first. I think she was just playing the game, trying to survive. But in the later movies, she gets more and more scheming, But I think she was kind of naive and innocent in this one.
Okay.
My feeling. Okay.
Oh, actually, this feeling, whenever you feel that a woman is naive and something like this, you are going to lose, I think.
Possible.
Yeah. Okay, another question. What is the purpose of this game for that society? We covered it already, but let's just summarize in a few words. Jorgen, could you please?
This game. It's a TV show, or?
Yeah, it's a show. Yep. It's a show that follow two main goals. First, to entertain, and second, to remind. Yep, to keep you in I don't know, in obedience. Yep.
Yeah, submissiveness. Yeah.
Submissiveness, yes. Okay, we have another question from our Mr. Questions. Does her father's death scene would make any difference? Remind me, please, about this scene. I don't remember it.
Yeah, they showed a bunch of people went into the mining and there was an explosion. Her father died and he was shaking her mother, who was in a shell shock moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So your question is what is bring to to our story? Yep. What does
Yeah,
this? I cannot answer. You see, I almost forget the scene. Jart, what do you think?
Yes. So Katniss was he had to struggle more because they didn't have a father. So
Sure.
she provided food going the out limits of the town.
Yep.
There was a fence supposedly electrified, and then she jumped across the fence and killed some animals, and she could sell on the black market and make some money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the fact of not having a father made Katniss a tougher girl.
I understand. Yep. It's very logical, I think. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she was a breadwinner. Yep. Okay.
Brings home the money, so you got food.
Yeah. But do you remember this scene with Pete, pigs, and bread?
Okay. Yeah, I read the book also. Yes, I know. So Peter throw bread to the pigs, and and in one moment he throws some bread so Katniss could grab it.
No. She throw deliberately to her. We can see that in the movie.
Yes, I know. It's that because at this moment he was in love with Katniss.
Yeah, because she was so like she had a pity look, and she was actually starving. We can see, and he was feeding the pigs and saw her and throw her a bread. And after in the movie during the game, she said, every day I remind this event because I should step into rain and bring you bread like into head, not to throw it, to show some respect. Yep, because it's looks like I'm thrown to pigs and I'm thrown to you. Yeah, you are
same level.
Yeah.
Let them eat cake.
Yeah, and I'm so much in love with you. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's all about our questions and about story. So, what about moral? Do we have something that we can learn from the movie? Except these strategies, of surviving. I hope this Hunger Games is not relevant to our society. Yeah. So so let me play Leylot then and say that the moral is that love is win. If you are in love, you are winning.
Prevails. Love prevails.
We have a saying. We say love conquers all.
Yep. It's what happens. Yep. All are conquered, and love is is alive.
I think there's several messages. One is President Snow and his contempt for the poor people. So it's master slave, but we can't say that now. So it's dictator and peasants, or the king and the peasants. So it's an authority or conflict in society where your ruler disdains the common person. In the game, she showed respect to a killed competitor, so a little bit of maybe honor and respect, and her whole district was affected by that show of emotion. So I think it's trying to say that showing respect is a good thing, honoring your components is a good thing, being honorable and not killing helpless people is a good thing. So I think there were a lot of subtle messages in the game or in the movie.
Yeah, and speaking about about this timing, the movie is pretty long. I would say it's 2.5 hours, and I felt like it's not very dynamic. I would say some sense long for a while.
It was moved too slow. You mean?
Yeah. My impression that for the action movie, I would call it like an action movie. It's too much dialogues and suspense, I would say.
Was it character development or just useless junk?
Maybe it was a character development, but they have to change a director, to develop characters better, faster.
Faster, yeah.
Okay, let me share some slides prepared by Vasans. Thank you, Vasans, for that. I'm so lazy now. I always rely on you. Rely on you in this regard. Okay, can you see it? Yep, I hope. Okay, let's start the first one. Gerard, please.
Okay. I think here's the moment when they choose the candidates.
Reaping day, yep.
Reaping. Yes, we can see, I don't know whether she is the Primrose, this girl on the top right corner. I think it's Prime. He was
they have a monitor. Yep.
Yeah, this monitor.
Yep.
I think it looked like maybe she's Prime Rose, Katniss' sister.
Mm-hmm.
So Katniss, Prime Rose was chosen, and Katniss volunteered for her.
Yeah. So what about the police? Well, can you describe them?
White costumes with helmets, white helmets.
Yeah. How we call these stripes on the pants?
Just striped pants.
Does it mean something? No.
Just a uniform. It's kind of a symbol of a uniform.
Okay. I shared once a funny moment. In Russia, these stripes mean that you are general. Okay. So, and I would say that I can see a big difference in this picture. The how to call it? We can see this poor guys, and at the same time we can see this monitor with pretty guys. Yep. And so difference of level, I would say.
Very cheap chairs. Yeah.
Yeah. And the mic in the center. Yep. Microphone. How we call this? Prop. Yep. For mic.
Just a stand, a microphone on a stand.
Okay, stand. And I enjoy the view of this right side machine.
Air conditioner? I don't know. Generator?
Yep, or conditioner, or I think it's a ventilation system or something. If it's an industrial thing, yep, something like this. Okay, but it looks fancy.
I think that's a generator.
Yeah, because we see this like
right.
Yeah. Wheels. How to say it? So the generator has usually a big like disc, yep, a heavy one that makes makes the pace. I would say that it's not
right.
Help me, yep.
Yeah, so, we call them turbine blades. Rotate.
Okay. So it made for straight pace. So not like the rhyme is always the same because it's heavy and it's not too volatile, I would say. Sorry, I cannot describe that. I need a course English for engineers. Jürgen, please.
Yeah, what can we call this stairs going two sides?
You're speaking about this stairs to this arena, yep?
To the sea.
Mm-hmm.
I would just call them stairs up to the platform or the stage.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting that they made like in the front of the platform, yep. But I have seen the same design many times, so something common. Yeah. Okay, Jürgen, please, it's for you.
This is Prim and Katniss, and Gale in the background behind Prim, and Prim is Can you say horrified or
Frightened.
frightened? Frightened, yeah. And Katniss calming her. Try to calm
Mhm.
her. And the guards look after them.
I would say watching them closely.
Yeah, watching close.
Yeah. What we can say about this vest for police? You know, it's look like a Kevlar vest. Yep. But
It looks like they're held on by buckles,
Mhm.
snaps. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I think it's all about this. Okay. The train. Vasants, please.
Yes, in this train, she was left alone. Her companion followed the mentor, and there was a dining table and lots of utensils, flower washers on the wall, and a chandelier above the dining table. And I think it's an ashtray or something. Nearer to the sofa. What was that? Is that an ashtray? Some glass.
I'm sorry. You are speaking about the square like glasses on this.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's for flowers or for something that make smells. I think make fragrance. No, teacher.
It might be salt and pepper and sugar, but I can't tell.
Yeah, I usually, in such posh like decorations, they use something, to make smell.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's candles. Sometimes. What's the word for the fragrance? Is okay.
Fragrance,
Fragrance. Okay. So they use some components that produce a lot of fragrance.
Could be,
It's-
yeah.
My impression. I'm not a not a visitor of too many posh apartments. Yep. So blue is calming. Yep, teacher Lee is mentioned, and I think that for a train, it's too much posh in that. I would say it's a train for royal persons.
Right.
Okay, let me describe the last one. Okay, so it's a crowd that meets them on the platform, on the train platform, if I can say. Train station. Yep, they look, I would say, strange, but we have a word for that. I don't know, is it the English word? In Russia, we call all the persons, so fancy, who are related to theaters, art, and all this. They try to make a close code, so they show each other that we belong to this society, and they have a strange costumes and something like this. We call them bogema, but I don't know if it's a word. Probably no, not actually. Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
it's like a layer, for these artistic people. They
Okay.
they show each other that we are not just a grounds, we are, all these things. But yeah, we are vegans. We are all not just gay, but related to art, I would say.
Okay, I know you're trying to say little segments of society that have similar tastes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this clothes it's like a signal for each other that we belong to this segment. Yeah.
Right.
It's how it looks for me. But I say I can see that I forgot this word, like an elevator but without chair, without steps.
Escalator.
Escalator, yeah. We can see escalators. We can see a few trail roads, right? Trains, like a place where train can arrive. We can see.
We call them we call those tunnels.
Tunnels. Okay, we can see 2 tunnels and probably I don't know. Probably each tunnel has 2 roads. I would say So it's usually on trains, usual thing on train station. So you have one platform, and at the same time you can have two trains. Yep, on left
Right.
and
Yeah.
right side. Yeah. So it's a kind of logistic. Yep, logistic how it's made on stations.
Yeah.
What else? We can see a police guards. We can distinguish them by helms, white helms, close to
Guards.
guards. Guards. Yeah. Air sound will always torture me.
Guard. Yeah. The U is silent. Okay.
Yeah. Guards. Okay, guards, and a lot of light in this station. Lights. Yeah, a lot of lights. It's well lighted. Can I say so? Well
Lighted, well lit. Yeah.
well lit. Yeah, and I like this because sometimes these train stations they are like dark.
Yeah.
You go there and you are waiting for some, I don't know, aliens or something. Hair adornments. You mean this booklets or these flowers in the hair? Yep.
Yeah. Decorations and adornments. A decoration. If you look at the guy at the lower left, there's a guy with a pink flower on his head. If you look at the woman to the left, her eyelashes are very decorative.
Yeah. to say the least. Yep.
Like a cat woman.
Yeah. Okay, and we can see in the center of the picture, behind the crowds, we can see this plate with a schedule. Yep.
Yeah.
How we call it? This plate? Just a board?
I call it a schedule board
Okay.
or display. Yeah.
Okay. Nice one.
Yeah.
And these small windows that could be, I'm not sure, that could be a kind of a control room or something like this.
That could be the waiting room where you sit and wait, or it could be an observation deck where you can watch the trains come and go for entertainment. It's probably the boarding gate where you wait and sit and wait normally, and like at an airport. But who knows? Yeah.
Okay, and now look at the train. On the top of the train, in the beginning, there are some, like, I don't know the name for the scales. You know, can you see them?
Yeah.
On the top, yep. looks very strange, but we use them on the very old diesel trains. It's like there is a hole for gases, but this plate cover it from rains or something. So it looks fancy and old-fashioned at the same time, I would say. Okay, anything else? Next one. Okay, next one. Jörgen, please.
Okay, you can see the mentor and is drinking again, and what else? They look, yeah.
Yeah, not much there, I would say. Yep. We can check picture or can find details, but I think we can mention that in the hand he has a flask, right? Is that correct? Flask, titularly? With
a metal flask. Okay, yeah.
Metal flask with some alcohol, I would say.
Usually alcohol, yeah.
We have a flower bouquet. Yep. Bouquet on the table, and behind the guy on the right, we can see a cake on this.
A cake stand.
Cake stand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, more or less the same, like trivial, right?
Yeah, very fancy. You've got a bowl. You got a bowl and 3 plates. You've got a probably a bread plate, salad plate, and then a dinner plate.
Wow.
Okay, so a small plate for your bread, another plate for your salad, and then the dinner plate for your main meal. So very fancy.
When I was young, my grandmother was used to serve like that, but she used it in like kind of different way. You know, you eat from the top of from the plate on the top, and then you just wait. Yep, put it away and use the next one. Yeah, like this.
Like your Russian dolls.
Yeah. Layer by layer. Yeah, you getting salad in the plate of the top, then you put it away, then you receive your potato or something.
But you're going from the inside to the outside.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a pitcher. Yep, pitcher for coffee. Am I correct? Okay.
Now the picture's probably, I don't know what it is, orange, maybe coffee. It looks more like juice, but I can't be sure. Might be the metal one's probably coffee.
Yeah.
So you talk about the metal pitcher? Okay.
And this glass, it can be sauce or I don't know.
That looks more like juice.
Yeah, juice. Okay.
Kind of fruit juice. Yeah.
Okay, another one. I love at that moment, but please, Vasant, describe what is happening and find some detail.
At this place, they were preparing the candidates for the game, and I think the process is called waxing. They pull all the hairs from their skin by applying a plaster on their skin, and they just pull it out to remove the hairs on their skin, and they do all the facial thing. Yes. That's all they did.
I forgot. Why are they removing hair?
It's a good question. Yeah. why you have all these cosmetic procedures for a guy who is going to die tomorrow? Yep.
I think they are preparing them for the interview. I think is that what happened after that?
But do you remember that at the day first they have like Olympic Games, the day of open, you know, all this show, all these chariots, all these costumes. So probably they are preparing this, you know, hillbillies to a show.
Could be, yeah. Make them clean, hygienic instead of dirty and germy.
Yeah, and there was a funny dialogue in this scene because this, I don't know how we call this personnel, you know, in blue who made the procedure. Nurses, maybe, no? Teacher, how we call this personnel who make the procedures? They are not nurses, right?
Make what procedures?
No, this personnel, you know, personnel in blue and white coats.
I don't know. Maybe attendant or stylist. If it's beauty, we'd probably call him a stylist.
Okay.
Or a makeup artist.
Yeah, so it was a funny dialogue between two these makeup artists. You know, they were like not happy about condition of this girl protagonist, and they told each other, "We have to hose her one more time." Yep, and correct me, hose. It's a name for, you know, for some conduit. Yep, something what you use on your farmhouse. Okay, so okay, wow, the scene,
Wow.
yeah, the scene what they were prepared for. Yep, Jürgen, could you describe it?
This is the opening ceremony, and their clothes are different from the other, and very different. And it's fire from their dress clothes.
So they were a designer, right? Costume designer that prepares the show, and he said like, you are a coal, you know, you are a miner, you're from district which mine, so you are going to be a black coal, and there will be a fire, so it's, you know, a language of visual language. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and the last one was for you. What is happening here?
Yes, the guy is making an art on his arm because he used to do such artistic thing in his factory at home. He decorate all the cakes, so he developed that talent, and he he checks, he tests, practicing the talent by applying art on his hand.
Yeah. So is it's kind of masquerade or camouflage or something. So he can like paint himself that you cannot find him, you know, in whatever circumstances. Yep.
Is that what he's doing? Okay. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
So what is he's putting on his hand is kind of a bark of the tree. So then he will stay around the tree, and you cannot distinguish him from the tree. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's camouflage. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I think we can stop on this one, and I think it was a nice movie. A bit longer than I would like, but
Yeah.
in general, it's nice. Thank you, everyone
Thank you.
for attending. Yep, and see you next week, I hope.
Yeah.